Hello, I am Julia Lydell Pisano, entrepreneur, pranayama practitioner, and ex-elite athlete from Girotondo Base Camp, a regenerative mountain retreat in the Italian Apennines. I have two pranayama techniques for you today. Mainly, I'm thinking about sports people for these techniques, but it has benefits for all people in all walks of life. Anyone who wants to improve their well-being and both physiologically and mentally. I'm specifically for this particular vlog thinking about our local rugby club, Valor Rugby. And these particular techniques, I think, will help them in two particular points during the rugby match. The science and art of pranayama or breath work has many different techniques, and they achieve a complete holistic approach to physiological and mental impacts. So you can change anything about yourself via the breath. In this video, I will concentrate on two particular techniques. And those particular techniques, I'm thinking about two specific moments during a rugby match. Just before we start, please don't practice any of these techniques if you're pregnant or if you're ill, specifically if you have any heart pressure, blood pressure problems, because they are quite strong. It's better to practice pranayama when you're well hydrated and have an empty stomach, so before a meal, to do these things. So the first technique is called Tummo, and it's an ancient technique which is to wake up the sympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system is the side of your nervous system, which is the fight or flight reaction. So it's the metabolism growing. The yogic ancients called this to create a fire within your body, to build that energy inside yourself. And actually ancient yoga monks used this technique to keep themselves warm during on the top of the Himalayas. In fact, this type of breathing is actually the type of breathing that Wim Hof has utilized in his method. He's the Iceman. He's used this method to break multiple world records, and he's used it to very good effect, also incredibly successfully commercially, and helping people to change their lives through this method. We have our second technique is called Samavritti with Brahmari. So they're the two Sanskrit names of these two techniques, which I've put into one technique. It's box breathing with humming. So this increases the gas exchange efficiency in the muscles. So there's gas exchange within the lungs, and then there's also the gas exchange from the blood to the muscles. And this one's specifically for that process, from the blood to the muscles. And it improves your endurance. It increases vasodilation and a little bit more acidification of the blood, which improves the gas transmission to the muscles. It increases mental clarity and is also a stress reliever, because this one, contrary to the Tummo, is the parasympathetic stimulator. So it stimulates the parasympathetic, which is the calm, tranquil, focused and clear part of the nervous system. Remember, at any point in time, that breathing through the nose is better on almost all levels than breathing through the mouth. And breathing more does not necessarily change your oxygen levels. In a healthy person, the oxygen level in your blood does not really change from 96 to 99%. What we're trying to do here is improve the oxygen into your muscles. So, and to do that, we need to implement something which is discovered by the Bohr effect, which is that if you increase the amount of CO2 in your muscles, in your blood, then you increase the gas exchange of oxygen. So paradoxically, if you increase the waste product, the CO2, and also nitrogen oxide in your blood, that you increase the amount of oxygen that's available for your muscles to metabolize. During these exercises, I will also be asking you to perform Mula Bandha or Ashwari Kriya. Okay, so this is actually to do with the contraction of the perineum and the contraction also of the diaphragm. So you're creating a tension within your body, drawing up the perineum and pushing down the diaphragm. So this increases the effect of both of these breathing exercises massively. So for Tummo is to excite, to motivate, to get your blood boiling, get your motivation going. I'm thinking about this in terms of the haka. So at the beginning of a rugby competition, the whole team, the whole of the All Blacks come together, they do their haka, and they are doing Tummo breathing. They're breathing in, they're breathing out, they're breathing in, they're breathing out. They're creating the huge amount of energy, this huge amount of metabolism growing inside their bodies, all of them together as one choreographed performance. So we can do this as well. So to do Tummo, what we're going to do is we are going to breathe in and out profoundly, very quickly, 20 to 30 times. After 20 breaths or 30 breaths, we're going to hold that exhale. So after you've exhaled, you're going to pull up the perineum and push down on the diaphragm. Okay, and you're going to hold that exhale for at least 15 seconds. If you can hold a little bit longer, that's good as well. But make sure it's not uncomfortable. When you get that really big urge to breathe in, like gently just breathe in, get the breath, the full breath in. And at the top of that inhale, hold again. So we'll hold again at that point as well. And that's one round of Tummo. To get the full effect, you can do this multiple times. So maybe 2 or 3 times is a good repetition. Okay, so to do that, to do the full breath, we're going to also engage our body. So we'll do a breathing in, and we'll expand our chest and bring our arms out to the sides, and breathing out, bring our chest and our elbows together to really push that breath out and get your stomach muscles engaged. Okay, so you're pushing your diaphragm up into the chest cavity to push that breath out as much as possible. Okay, so breathing normally and comfortably, we're going to start now. Okay, so hold, perineum, diaphragm, push. And hold. And after this Tummo, you will feel almost an exhilaration. So this is the over-oxygenation of your blood, which actually leads to a little bit of hypoxia in your brain and sometimes in your muscles as well. But it's also increased that exhilaration point. Overstimulating your sympathetic nervous system like this on a regular but not too often basis allows your body to self-regulate and to create a balance for the rest of your time. So you would do this once. You would not do this throughout your rugby match. Obviously, they don't do the haka whilst they're doing the rugby. They do it at the beginning. They get all of that amazing inspiration, motivation out into the air, and they create this huge energy within their bodies, and then they go and do their job. They go and do their rugby. So this next breathing technique is for that. Is for the ability to create ultimate clarity and concentration, and also to increase the amount of carbon dioxide in your bloodstream to improve the transfer of gases into your muscles. So this one is called box breathing, and I'm going to add in a hum in there to increase the amount of nitrogen oxide and increase the amount of vasodilation in your body. So this one is used by US Marines on operations. So they use it to calm and concentrate themselves before the big event, the big, attack or whatever they're doing. This one is box breathing, is breathing in for 5 seconds, holding for 5 seconds, breathing out for 5 seconds, holding for 5 seconds. You're holding on both the inhale and the exhale. You're creating a slight hypoxia within your body, which increases the levels of CO2. It doesn't affect the levels of oxygen in your body because you are breathing on a regular basis. So it just improves your gas transfer. You can use it to calm down. Obviously, when you're sprinting or when you're running or when you're doing something or you're doing a ruck, you're breathing much more consistently, always through the nose. Okay, so when you're waiting for the ball, where there's a foul, when there's something happening and you're just waiting around on the pitch and you need that clarity of mind, you can use this technique. So what we're going to do is that on the exhale, you're going to hum. And humming increases the size of your blood vessels. So it's vasodilation. It's all to do with the gases and the chemical reactions happening inside your nose. So humming through the nose with your mouth closed. Okay, so you can change this as well. It doesn't have to be 5 seconds. It can be 4 seconds. 4, 4, 4, 4. Starting now, we'll go hold. Exhale with the hum. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale with a hum. Hold. Okay, and that's as simple as it gets, and you can do that as many times as you need to create that sense of clarity and calm. And you can do this as many repetitions as you like, because every single repetition improves your clarity, increases your concentration, and helps you to focus. You can use it like this whenever you need it. Whenever you're just overwhelmed, if you're feeling overwhelmed because you've just scored a goal and you need to get back in the game, or you've just fouled, or you're losing, or whatever. If you need to get back into a mode where you're concentrating on what you actually have to do rather than being distracted by everything else, you can use this method to help yourself concentrate. So those are those two. There's Tummo for stimulating and creating that amazing energy, and then there's also Samavritti, or box breathing, to help yourself to calm, collect, and be present and be focused. I hope this helps. And if you want to know more about pranayama techniques or about breathing, we're actually holding an event on the 5th, 6th and 7th of December called Time to Breathe, which is including also some free diving and ice bathing or ice immersion, which I'm really excited about. And if you want to know more about that, then the link is in the description below. And we will also be holding more events along these lines in the future. So look out for that, and I'll see you in the next video.